What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I gotta hit another hometown dealership for just scumbag activity. I hate this because I bought a Ram 2500 from there back in 2020, and I didn't have a bad experience. And part of that probably was, hey, this guy's a YouTuber. Hey, this guy does social media. Hey, this guy does this. I had no problems going in there with my dealer funding request from USAA and immediately picking up a vehicle. But evidently, Chapman Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Las Vegas, you hit my radar. I got a message from a person named Stacy, and we're going to talk about it. Roll it. Before we get into today's video, guys, we're going to talk about the sponsors here, and that is Morgan & Morgan, attorneys at law. If you're looking for a personal injury attorney, you will find none larger of a firm than Morgan & Morgan that handled over 20 million calls in 2023 alone. That is insane. You know, they do have the pun that they say size matters. Ladies, y'all know what that is. Size matters, man. When you have a law firm as big as Morgan & Morgan, they can go toe-to-toe, punch for punch with the insurance companies, and that's what you need. You can get started in 8 clicks or less from one of these nifty little smartphones by going to forthepeople.com/TK's Garage. Again, that is forthepeople.com/TK's Garage, and I appreciate them for allowing me to do what I do. All right, guys, getting directly into this today. This happened about a week ago. I'm just finally getting up to this, and it comes from, it's a review that is posted by a Stacy Davison. Now, I got an email in, and they were like, they effed us on financing, they did this, and I was like, all right, let me go look at the reviews over here about Chapman and find out just how bad this clearly is. Well, we're going to get directly into Stacy's review, and we're going to pop it up over here, and as you can see here, she says, not happy with our transaction process. They delayed getting financing. That happens a lot. Called a week later for us to sign finance paperwork. But when we arrived, long drive, they tried to rope us into a higher interest rate and told us to just refinance later for a lower rate. Let me explain something to you. You never have to accept any finance terms that you don't want. As a consumer, you don't have to do that. If a dealer promises you, and I'll give you an example. I did this with Finley in Las Vegas when I bought the first Black Mamba Chevy Tahoe. I forget what the black line or whatever the trim was of the first Tahoe I bought, right? That we ended up calling the Black Mamba. That truck, I ended up using my USA financing, but they were like, oh, we can get you financing through GM Financial, blah, 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 blah. And we guarantee you like 3.9% or whatever it was, only to have me come in like a week later. This is after the first truck I bought from them, the Silverado, blew a head gasket, brand new 3.0 diesel Duramax, done. They wrecked my trade, which was my Audi A4S line. So I kind of had them over a barrel. But, you know, they promised 3.9. They brought me back in and tried to give me a 5.9% interest rate. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I already know what that was. That's the dealer adding on points so that they make money on the back end of the deal. That's how this shit works. So they add these 2 points on. It's at 5.9. I'm like, I'm not doing this deal. We agreed at 3.9. You've already crashed my car. And the first truck I purchased from you blew up. And I've been driving the Black Mamba for about a week at this point, right? And it's not an actual delivery. It's called a spot delivery, all right? So what they do is they let you take the vehicle and they figure out the financing later. That's kind of how that works, right? They sign a contract and they get us back. Anywho's. So what happens at that point is you can give them back the vehicle and you can walk away. And all the miles you put on that car for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, They have to eat that shit. You're not responsible for paying for it unless in the spot delivery contract it says, in the terms of financing, whatever you have to pay. Just understand this. Never take a spot delivery. Never take a spot delivery. Just don't do it. Make sure it's an actual delivery with financing and the deal is done before you leave a dealership for this exact reason, if you want the car. Anyways, so they tried to get us into a highest interest rate and told us to just refinance for a lower rate instead of letting us use our pre-approval from our own bank. That is legal. You can use cash, money, your own financing, an effing credit card if you want to buy a car at a car dealer. If they don't want to accept that, walk away. They didn't pay off our trade in until I reached out a month later. I'm seeing this more and more from dealers that are, because here's what they'll do. They'll take the trade in, and then they sell it. But they still haven't paid it off from the first customers. No, they're just floating. They're basically floating a title, is basically what they're doing. You don't have the car paid off. You don't have the title from the original person. Now the other person that bought this car from you, their paper tag is going to expire. This happens all the time in Las Vegas. I can't tell you how many cars you can see running around with paper tags that are 6 months old, mostly from Carvana, but other dealers do this shit. And they started doing it because they saw Carvana getting away with this shit like crazy. So they're like, F it. We'll just float this money right now and float these titles. We don't give a shit. And it abused the DMV system. It's basically what Chapman did here. Anyways. So now the customer had to make another payment on the vehicle so they don't become late on the vehicle. They have 10 to, depending on the laws of certain states, they have between 10 to 15 days to pay off the car. Period. End of story. All right? But they had to reach out a month later asking them to pay off the car, causing us to have to make another payment on a car that was sitting on their lot for sale. So that's another reason why they didn't pay it off. It hadn't sold yet, evidently. I had to reach out to the other finance lady to even get a response from the first one. The entire process was like pulling teeth. We wish we had gone elsewhere. So that's the review. It's publicly posted. And then when the customer contacted me, I said, I'm going to look at it. And then after going over it, and I reached out to Chapman directly before I cut this video. I reached out and I asked to speak to the general manager 4 times. I have the call record. I called 4 times. I left 4 messages. Never got a return phone call. So here you guys go. You guys get put on blast for what you did. And it's very simple, man. You can do good business or you can be a scumbag and do bad business. And this kind of shit is bad business. Depending on how Chapman responds and how they decide, maybe they'll reach back out to Stacey Davison and try to make this situation right with that customer. Maybe, just maybe, I won't get into all the other negative reviews from just the last 30 days. These are all 1-star reviews in the last 30 days. If you'd like me to get into those reviews, let me know in the comment section down below. You guys can also go check out all of these reviews yourself over on Google. Oh, they got some nifty ones on DealerRate too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, because that's some exceptional scumbag behavior, if you may say so myself. I don't know. I don't do business that way. And I don't know what these auto groups that are hiring these general managers that allow this shit to happen are doing. I thought Chapman knew better. Evidently, I was wrong. See you guys on the next one.